Chan was standing on business today. He clearly came to start a problem. When Chan declined Antonio's offer to sit down in his office, Antonio should have known it was up.
It was up.
It was up. Where was Antonio's blick? He couldn't find it. Do you think him having his own firearm would have changed the outcome of this fight? Antonio got mangled. Definitely. This dude got like stomped out. Like at some point, if he had his piece, he could have prevented some of the mangling.
Some of that. He could have pulled out his blick, like, nah, freeze.
I thought it was kind of slick somehow. And I mean, that's what I mean by like Chan being diabolical, like figuring out without this Negro even knowing, you know, the take away his gun. Like, let me put, you know, we're gonna have, because he probably knew Antonio was gonna reach for his weapon, and it's like, oh crap, it's not there. And he told, yeah, it's not there. And it's like, well, how did you manage that, good sir?
That's funny. It ain't fair.
But yeah, definitely if he had his piece, that would have changed the outcome. With him getting beat up like that, the way he was getting beat, he definitely could have I mean, that's clearly self-defense. That's like free murder right there. So yeah, he gonna take it, you know, and just it very different outcome.
Mm-hmm.
The Rose City would be a very different story had Antonio had his blick, because at that point, once hands was being thrown, and you know, even when he declined the offer, like, sit down, let's talk about. Nah, I ain't sitting down. You're like, oh, okay, you here on some shit.
Yeah.
So that's why that was his instinct. Let me grab my piece to protect myself, because he know who he's dealing with. So yeah, that definitely, if he had his piece, that would have been a completely different outcome.
Yeah, and I think that if he would have had his piece, it wouldn't have even probably gotten physical, because he would have been like, you know how people pull out they gat and they like put it off onto their side, and they be like, well, I just want to let you know, I mean, it's not going down like that today. You know what I'm saying? I know you came armed, I'm armed, so you know, it's whatever you want to do. I think it would have made Chan think a little differently, like, okay, he got his piece with him, so I could get popped. But since the piece had been removed, he knew, he wasn't anticipating that. So he was like, you about to get this work. So that's like, Chan's always 10 steps ahead of most people.
Mm-hmm.
So, but definitely would have been a different outcome. Even if it probably wouldn't have even gotten physical, to be honest. It probably would have just been like words, and it's like, all right, bro, you need to go because my finger's feeling kind of itchy. I know you got your blick on you. Like, we both just need to step away from the situation because it's about to be a problem. And Jan was like, yeah, all right, well, leave Malia alone before I have to come back and ride on you for real though. So that's what would have happened. I definitely think it would have been a different outcome if he would have had his firearm, because I don't think a physical altercation probably would have started. So next question says, Chan is treating Malia like his property. He clearly went out of his way to make Antonio jealous by telling him how Malia is amazing in the bedroom. First off, that's disrespectful to her. And secondly, does he really think he can stop these two from being friends? ? Their worlds are intertwined. Like it or not, Malia will have to run into Antonio and April. My question is, do you think Malia will be angry at Chan for demanding Antonio agrees to never see her again or speak to her? I think it goes back to like setting those boundaries. Who are you to talk for me?
Right.
Right. I'm a grown woman, and if I don't want to talk to somebody who, was once my friend, I can do that myself. I have a real problem with people taking liberties on my behalf that I didn't ask for, because that's where it gets really, really dangerous. Like, so now you're telling Antonio not to talk to me. What happens if, you feel like Wendy got too much influence in my life, and I'm no, because Wendy was saying that we ought to do it, and Wendy, and then you like, you know what? I don't like Wendy anymore because Wendy's telling you to do stuff that I don't think you should be doing. Okay, so then what are we gonna have Chan call Wendy up? I know you and Malia have been friends since y'all were teenage girls, but your relationship is kind of not working out for me. You're empowering her too much. And I don't like her being empowered. So at what point does it become too much? Yes, I think Malia would be offended and mad. She can deal with Antonio on her own. Malia's not walking into Chan's world and telling people around him who can and cannot be in the room with him, or who can or cannot talk to him. So it's like that same respect needs to be given to her. That's all. What's your thoughts, Mama?
The first Chan is treating Malia like his property. She's not aware of it.
Mm-mm.
Not yet, anyway. So, yeah, like you said, who are you to speak for me? He probably don't even know. I think Malia already cut Antonio off, right? She's like,
Yeah.
yo, like we, you know, and so for him to double down on that and demand that he never speak to Malia or whatever. I think Malia, knowing Malia, like we always think it's gonna go one way, but then she'll end up reading people like a book.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, when she find out, like, hold on, you said what? You told him what? Like, why would you do that? I didn't need you to do that. I didn't ask you to do that. Like,
yeah,
I had it covered. What are you doing? So she'll be upset, you know, if or when she finds out, but I don't think that's gonna, you know, like, Chan, how dare you? Don't ever speak to me again. You know, that's not gonna be what break them, I don't think. Question, yes, I believe Malia will be upset. I don't see her being okay with that. Like, what? You told him to never talk. Thank you. I don't thank you so much. No, it's gonna be like, yo, bruh, nah, I got this. Like, and plus their world, like you said, their worlds are intertwined. They will run into each other. They're part of society, and it's going, you know, there's going to be some very uncomfortable situations and conversations that's about to happen here. What do you think will be Malia's reaction to Chan coming to Antonio's office and starting this massive fight? How will Chan explain this?
He ain't.
He's not. He's probably going to keep quiet. You know, he did beat the mess out of her dad at one point. And she's sad about that. So had Frank fight in the air and stuff. But the difference, Antonio might spill the beans. This moth came in my office and did this, this, and this. So she may very well, this may not be a Frank situation where Frank couldn't go to the police or say anything or whatever. If anything, I'm not saying Antonio's a snitch, but, you know, if he wake up from this, he knows exactly who he's dealing with. He might even try to, hey, what is it when you try to like hold something for ransom or something?
Blackmail.
You better, yeah, because he knows about his businesses, his shady dealings or whatever, or I'm a press, or he just maybe skip all that and just press charges, because clearly if he's not dead, he, after that beat down, he got some type of medical attention.
Yeah.
Go to the hospital beat up like that, they asking questions. They gonna be like, oh, that was a bad fall. Like, they know. Yeah, so I believe it's gonna come out. I'm trying to think if Chan will try. I don't know what Chan's gonna do now. It's asking about Malia's reaction. Malia at first will be shocked. This is somebody she did grow, even though she cut it off. Right. It wasn't so much bad terms. It was just like, look, this is a situation that's not good for both of us. You know, I wish you the best. Stay over there. I'm gonna stay here. Blah blah blah. I don't think they like, you know, well, if you Nick, no, if you, you know, it wasn't a Mike situation.
No, not at all.
When she initially find, oh my God, Antonio, blah 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 blah, you know, she'll be a little worried and blah blah blah, and then she will. I think, you know, I don't see Antonio being quiet. He'll be like, yeah, this is your boyfriend did this. Blah, blah. I think she'll be heartbroken kind of at first, and then she will be angry. But again, I don't think this is going to split them up. She might, you know what, Chan, I need a minute. Just give me some space. I need some time. So I think that's how, especially he started it too. Yeah. She'll be angry.
Right.
She'll be angry. She'll be heartbroken, maybe even a little shocked too, because you remember, she don't know about, you know, Chan being this dirty business dude and nothing like that. She don't know about that. So it's gonna be like, what? That him? Like, Chan? No. You know, she may even be in denial for a minute, but when she finally come to terms with it and stuff, I believe she's gonna be very angry, hurt and angry too. Because it's like, who are you really now? You've been lying to me. You know, so
That's so true. I think that when the information does come out, I mean, hopefully he didn't kill him, but whatever the outcome is going to be, she's going to be horrified. She's going to be shocked. Just how can you explain that you went down there and we got to talking about you and somebody ended up in this state? Like you don't even know this person to be this kind of person. Okay, you know what I'm thinking? Remember the movie Fear with Mark Wahlberg from the 90s? You remember the movie? And you remember how he was just like everything you want, you know? Sweet, he was cute, he was kind, very affectionate. But that's what they do. That's what crazies do, right? Like they present themselves in the best possible light. And then they go in like, he effed up Greg or whatever his name was. Like he marked him, you know, walking home from school because he saw him give his girlfriend like a hug. Like, but they were friends before that. And he didn't want her homeboy getting too close, and he just was doing too much. And then her best friend started dating homeboy, you know, his friend. And then remember what he did to her best friend? Like he pulled a double. Well, I would say he pulled a double R on her, but he did. You know, here it starts with a grape, you know, jelly. Yeah, he grape jellied her, and Margot, and homegirl found out about it. I think she showed up to something to try to figure out like why David wasn't answering the phone and what was going on through the window. But she didn't realize that like he basically went over there and beat up his friend and knuckled up Margot and made Margot go to the bedroom with him, you know. And so he was done with both of them, but he went after her friend. And you know, sometimes people do those things and it's like, oh, I don't know what happened to him. What do you mean you don't know what happened to him?
You happened to him. Okay.
People get close to me because that's your way of trying to like that movie was crazy. Fear.
I gotta see it again.
That movie was such a good movie. And I used to always like I think the first time I seen it, I was like 13 or 14, and I was like, Jesus, please don't let me meet nobody crazy like this.
Girl, we was always talking about coming across some crazy ass man. There's gonna be
so many out there. As teenagers, we were really super aware that everybody who came across presenting as a nice guy wasn't always going to be the nice guy. Yeah, we had brothers, and then we had really crazy fathers. So we saw how they would like switch up a little bit, like, oh, you gonna get me? Shoot,
right. Right.
We're gonna come over here and get all this turkey tail, and it started acting stupid. Smoked turkey tail, baby.
A little turkey tail.
Turkey tail. But yeah, that's a really good movie. But what I mean, how can you explain this? I needed to put my hands on him.
It needed to happen. It needed to happen. I couldn't control it. It just happened. He said big black cock and I couldn't understand.
Oh, he needed this. You know, how do you explain this that this happened? Like somebody is 2 inches from death or in the grave. Like, I mean, what do we do? Now we have to worry about the police. You know, and then I can see everybody in Rose City. No, this is Malia's fault. She's getting stuff started. She was sleeping with both of them. There's no way those two.
She wasn't though.
No, she was out there giving out cookies and cakes.
Ain't no way that man gonna fight like that if they wasn't sleeping together. Like what?
Are you right now? Brace yourself, Malia. You about to get blamed for this? No, because see, she was doing that. See.
Mm-hmm.
And Antonio is engaged to be married, and she was messing with him. And then her guy oh my God. I heard it was a shootout.
After Deja showed her ass. You know that got around Rose City too.
We just need to go ahead and just sell her business and move somewhere else.
Okay.
Her name, because they about to put her through it. They about to run her name through the mud, like
all the mud, like drag her.
She definitely gonna get blamed. She'll get blamed for no, because you did something. You gave somebody something.
You did some stuff. What? You don't did some stuff.
You know it's pretty bad when you can't even say what somebody did. You're like, they did some stuff.
They did some stuff. Or said some stuff. Girl, that is our thing now. No, because you don't say some stuff. Like, oh, Okay.
That means that things have gone way too far. And if
They
I
went completely left.
start doing a whole list, it's going to be a whole 100-page document of what you did. So we have now summed it up to you did some stuff, because you said some stuff.
Mm-hmm.
What? Okay, well let's read it.
Like, okay, got this big ass document, and
Yeah,
it's just
you
it's
did.
gonna
You
hit the
did.
headline stuff. This is what
Stuff.
stuff is.
Stuff that was said, stuff that was did, stuff that should never have happened. Lordy, did I answer that question?
Mm-hmm.
So the next question is mine. It's the last one. It says, Tan is dangerous. Did he murk Antonio? The way he beat him scared me. This is not the same man we all fell in love with. Please tell me he won't do this to Malia. Side note, is this Antonio's karma for Deja? Let's go backwards with this. Anytime you run and put your hands on somebody and do what Antonio did, he had it coming. And I hope he laid there thinking, is this what it is?
So you think about that pain, okay?
I hope he lay there. It was just like,
This is
this is what she felt like.
And girl, Jen didn't even cut his hair. Like,
cut his hair or throw bleach on his clothes.
Or throw bleach on his clothes.
Yeah, karma's real. We have to be careful what we do to other people because it can come back on us. Ain't nobody gonna feel bad for him either. He didn't got worked. To say, will he not do this to Malia? Let me tell you something.
He better not.
One thing I've learned about people, if they could do it to somebody else so easily, you next.
Right. Just wait your turn. It's coming.
Wait your turn. I've always been like, if I have a friend and their friend is always running down their friends, I'm like, uh-oh. I guess I'm on chopping block too. You see what I'm saying? That's not normal for you to be running people down and you didn't invite it out to dinner and we showing up and I'm like, you just talked bad about this woman. Now we're gonna have dinner with her. She ain't my friend, she your friend, but I know all about your friend's business.
Right.
So lets me know that you just this is who you are, and this is what you do to people, and it's happening to me too. And I'm not gonna have a Me Too movement. So about your mess. So no, I'm gonna say that if he could do this to Antonio, I mean he lost control, right? He's sitting back, he's like, oh my God, what did I do? He's like, is he dead? Kicks him. Like, so if he could lose control like that over Antonio, who say he can't do it to Malia? You got to stop thinking that people have some type of hierarchy. I would never do that to you. The people who told me they would never do things to me were always the ones who did it to me.
And do it 50 times worse than you can even imagine. You're like,
every single time it was like, oh, I would never do that to you. They always did it to me. And I had to stop thinking I was special. I had to stop thinking that, no. I mean, even with my own family, they're like, I mean, I did that to them because they're not family, but not to my own family. Even to
like, just wait.
Just get in line, get your turn. So to say, please tell me he doesn't do it to Malia. No, we don't want to see him put his paws on Malia and attack her. But I will say that he's a dangerous man. And if he has it in him to do it to other people, he would do it to her too. Don't ever think that, oh, he wouldn't do it to me, baby, because they will.
Yeah, I was gonna say, because at first, I said he bet not, but I was like, yeah, he kind of had a moment after he beat the mess out of Antonio. Like, what did I just do? So yeah, he could snap, especially if she says, one of his trigger words. Maybe she'll bring up, sometimes we get in fights with our men and we try to set them off. Yeah, nigga, because you ain't, she might say wrong words to him, or she may even bring up BBC, and that might be the trigger. And he may snap and do something he don't mean to do. So I would pray he wouldn't do, like, he beat down Antonio, and I'm thinking, okay, but they're both men. There are men who are just complete pieces of trash that like to beat up on people, but they won't hit like women or children. Some. That was what I was going to say. I was like, well, I don't think, he may not cross the line and hit a woman, but then I'm like, he just right now, lost it, blacked out, and he may have a flashback or something or whatever, and she's just happened to be in the room, and she may catch the ones or twos. I like that the karma for Deja, because he oh my, that was a beat down of a century. Like that was crazy. That was crazy. She didn't deserve that kind of beat down and cutting her hair, and I think he even destroyed like the kids' room. Like he just
got to work too.
Right. And then I think he
tore up the toilet.
Yeah, the toilet. I was getting ready to say rip the sink out, but kick the toilet. That's still some damage, that she's gonna have to fix. But yeah, that very well may be. God may have had to show him something. Like,
let me show you something.
Did some stuff.
Did some stuff.
Come here, let me show you something real quick. And so yeah. Maybe this is some of that karma. He didn't get it as bad as Deja got it, but this is a little bit of karma. This guy got beaten within his life. If he wakes up, when he's gonna have to live with that for the rest of his. Oh God, this man came up in my establishment, cussed me out, and beat my A, almost killed me. For men, that could be hard. That could be a hard pill to swallow. They're very egotistical.
He might need to be murked. Like, I can't live with that shame.
Right? Like, okay, there are people that do that, lose fights, and then come back with a gun and decide to air out the whole place. Right. Why don't you just shoot the nigga that beat your ass? You would just come up in here blasting off.
Everybody who saw it.
Everybody that saw everybody got to go now.
Now they know. They witnesses to a beating.
Complete with their accomplices.
They saw it. They saw some stuff.
They saw some stuff. Oh my God.
Oh Jesus.
Some stuff.
They saw some stuff. Do you have anything before we end our session on today? Yeah, that was our last question. Do you have anything else you want to add about this chapter before we close this out?
No, not really. I think we
did our thug thizzle. All right.
We did our thug thizzle. Yeah. We did some stuff. And got it covered. We'll be. I can't. It ended on a cliffhanger. So
it ended on a cliffhanger. So, episode, which is It Had to Happen, chapter 53, to see what happened. So. That's all for us on this episode of Rose City, the After Show. We hope you enjoyed our discussion on episode 52. Getting down to business. Don't forget to tune in next week when we will be diving into episode or chapter 53. It Had to Happen. If you haven't already started reading, like, what are you waiting for? The first 10 episodes are free on My Style by Karina.com. So there's no reason for you not to get locked in with the story. You'll be hooked because we are hooked. We love hearing from our viewers. So post your thoughts, your questions, and your theories to the comments. Reach out to us on Rose City After Show here on Facebook, on YouTube, on Instagram, and even check me out on TikTok. So all the links will be provided in the description. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next time in Rose City. Bye.